Matt with AVNation.tv. We are here in the Shure booth at ISE 2019 in lovely Amsterdam. I'm here with Stuart. Stuart, how are you doing?
Hey, good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Stuart, we've kind of been making the rounds. We've seen a bunch of the new Shure products, all with the new Shure logos. We are standing in front of one of my personal favorite products that you guys have, Axient Digital. Tell us a little bit about what you're showing here, what's new with it, and we'll go from there.
So, Axient Digital was first launched the NAB broadcast show in 2017. So what we're showing in this area is we just wanted something to reflect some of the live production routes that we have and the broadcast products. So it's kind of a backstage area is what it's supposed to look like. We've got the AD and ADX series of transmitters set up. Okay. And what we did with Axient Digital is it's really the first time we've had a single receiver platform compatible with two separate tiers.
Right.
So if you're familiar with our previous products, this is actually the replacement for UHFR, which was an industry standard kind of touring workhorse. Yes. Everybody's used some channels of UHFR in times. Yep. And then it also replaces the higher tier that we had, the Axient system. Okay. So there's dual and quad receivers. And really then they're both compatible with the AD series, which is the logical upgrade from UHFR, so it's a traditional UHF link. And then we have ADX that introduces what we call show link, which is our two-way communication between the receivers and the transmitters that allows you to do some pretty clever stuff like interference detection and avoidance. And you can control all of the transmitter parameters remotely, either from the front of the receiver or through our software platform, Wireless Workbench, which we're also showing here.
That's fantastic.
And then because a lot of devices now sit on the network, in addition to controlling all the Axient Digital and monitoring that within Workbench, we also have the in-ear monitoring side of things. So we have PSM 1000, which is our flagship in-ear monitoring system. And what we're doing, because we wanted to demonstrate how we can integrate Dante into that environment, Axient Digital has Dante outputs, and we're using these Dante ANI4 XLR output boxes to give us XLR outputs to feed into the PSM. So the whole setup, you can audition mics back through the PSM system. We've got some stereo sources that we can use to audition the in-ears. Yeah, and that's really what we wanted to show here.
So this is really giving that experience of a true back of house live event experience or live production experience for people that don't see that. What has been the massive benefit of having both the AD and the newer system on the same platform?
For us, it's just a scalability aspect of it. Okay. In the past, if you were planning inventory or working out CapEx for the year, you had to decide, where am I going to allocate my budgets? Am I going to invest in UHFR, or am I going to invest in Axient? And although there was some compatibility between the two, it was always, if you had Axient, you were kind of tied into putting that out on shows and then maybe backing vocals or less important areas of the production on the UHFR, because you didn't need that full redundancy that Axient offers. Now you can scale both up as your production values increase, you can scale with that, or you can scale your investments. So you can invest in the Axient Digital platform and start out with the AD series, and you can mix and match different transmitter series on the same receiver. Right. So you could have your main performer on ADX, and they get all of those that redundancy, the interference detection and avoidance, so that they can move to other clean, compatible frequencies. And then your backing vocals, your band, they can all be on AD series. And it just, it's about
simplifying the system across the board. That's fantastic.
And all of the RF performance, the audio performance is the same on both tiers. So it's not like you're making a compromise by choosing AD. So that's one of the benefits.
That's fantastic. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was the huge feature that I've always loved about Axient was that frequency hopping.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about how fast that is, because every time you bring that up to someone who isn't maybe up to speed on it, they're envisioning this drop off, that it's going to come down, it's going to cycle, and then kick back on, kind of the way your phone would.
Yeah. So with Axient Analog, we had a frequency diversity handheld, so you could set it up where it would transmit on two UHF carriers at the same time, and that was the most resilient system. You wouldn't have any drop-in audio at all. Part of making Axient Digital scalable is we wanted to introduce what we call the ADX2, and we have the ADX2 FD version of the handhelds. So with the ADX2, it will go through those steps you just described. If it senses interference, it will mute the channel, change frequency, and bring it back online.
Right.
We normally demonstrate this with a sine wave because it's the most unforgiving thing. Your ear instantly notices any drop in audio on a tone. And it happens in less than a millisecond. Like, people are blown away when you demo it to them. And then for those people that you really cannot afford to have the mic fail, the ADX2 FD still gives us that opportunity to transmit on the 2 carrier frequencies, so there's no dropout in audio at all. It just is able to intelligently gather the audio data and recompile the audio signal with no discernible.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal what it does.
Very good. So if people want to find out more information about Axient and Wireless Workbench and all of the other products that Shure has to offer, where can they do that?
They can do that all from our main website, that's www.shure.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much,
sir.
Yeah,
thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you for watching. To see more footage from the show floor and learn more about AVNation, please visit avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.